do all that stuff. What else can I tell you? Is anybody having difficulty getting audio right now? Can you all hear me? Thumbs up is great. Thank you, Cannonball. Excellent. Yeah, because I was going to say, can you hear me? And I don't get a response. It's like, I don't know what that means. Maybe you, I'm just assuming everybody can get the telepathy that's going on there. Yeah, my students know I do this all the time, that I'm just assuming they know exactly what I'm thinking. I'm going to turn this around here just so that we can get focused on that. And we're going to go ahead and get started because, as I said before, I would like to get into Q&A as quickly as possible. I think always the most interesting stuff in any presentation comes when you have questions that are pertinent to you and, you know, make a difference in what you're really going through and what you want to know. And so I want to get to those as quickly as possible. So I want to move through the presentation and see if I can get all the stuff out, and then we'll get on to that. So first things first, welcome. Welcome, everybody. It's really nice to meet some new people, and I'm looking forward to, you know, it's through the course of, you know, the Q&A, maybe getting to know a couple of you and having some fun. This is a fun presentation for me because it is how I do my business, and I love to share, you know, the great success that I'm having and want to help other people have the same kind of success. And so it's nice to meet you, and thanks for being here. This is how to be an online personal trainer, group fitness instructor, yoga teacher, Tai Chi teacher, and the coming trend in the fitness industry. But I was talking last night to some other people about the presentation I was going to make today. And the thing is this, although we're framing it as pertinent to people in the fitness industry, it is not in any way, shape, or form limited to this industry, limited to fitness. Almost anything that you could present, almost anything that you could teach, that is a service-based business, can be delivered via this format. And so we were talking about things like if you teach language, right? If you're a language teacher, or art, photography, math, almost any music, almost anything that you could teach in any other platform can be delivered by this platform. And as we'll talk about a little bit here, Trainerly can help you with this business services that you would need to do that. So, you know, some of you may have second skills, right, besides fitness. And you're thinking, you know, I would like to be able to have a business around, you know, my other skill. This is the format of the future, right? So anyway, so this is the presentation we're going to make today. By the way, my name is David-Dorian Ross. How many of you know who I am? Yeah. Okay. Well, a couple of people. That's surprising because most of the time it's like, no, I have no idea. I'm not going to go into the really long introduction. Here's a short space. I teach Tai Chi, and I have done so for about 35, 37 years, something like that. And I've taught in a variety of different places. I've had my own schools. I've taught inside fitness, you know, environments, clubs, community centers, 5-star resorts, that kind of thing. I've owned big Tai Chi schools in Oregon and Hawaii. And right now I'm teaching almost exclusively online via live streaming like we're doing right now. I had high hopes that we would be able to do something like this someday, but I was also very skeptical about how practical it would be until we actually tried it. And we kind of started as an experiment. And after the first time we did it, I'm like, I'm sold. This is absolutely going to work. And we moved. Right now, I would say 85 to 90% of all of my business is online like this. I still do some traveling. I still do some live classes, you know, in means face-to-face classes. I go to some conferences, but for the most part, everything is done on this platform. And it is the best thing I've ever done. And I'll tell you some of the reasons why I think that is true as we go forward. And when I'm having the most enjoyment out of it, and I'm having the most business success I've ever had, right? We're actually making as much or more revenue as we ever did with any of our brick and mortar businesses, and the costs are almost nil. Therefore, I get to keep more of what I make, which is always a nice thing. Yeah. I mean, it isn't the only thing, but it's a nice thing, right? So let me just talk a little bit about this opportunity and this pretty bold statement that I've been making to people, that the future of fitness, mind-body fitness, yoga, Tai Chi, Nia, Pilates, but really all of the fitness industry is right here on your cell phone, right? And sorry for those of you that just got seasick when I did that. We were live streaming or simul streaming on Meerkat as we do that. And here's why I say the future of fitness is on your smartphone, because the future of almost all commerce is moving towards mobile devices, moving towards the internet, right? Almost all of it is moving in that direction, and the fitness industry is not going to be immune. It's not going to like sit on an island all by itself and say, well, our customers aren't going to the internet. Our customers are only going to come to our gym or to my personal training studio or to the park where I'm teaching, right? No, if they're going for all of their other needs for everything from groceries to travel and transportation to music and everything else, they're going to be wanting to get their fitness in the same place, right? So that's really where the future goes. There are some specific needs that the modern marketplace is really looking for. And one of them that's kind of at the top, which also is very pertinent to people in fitness, is time, right? Will this product or service save me time? How many of you are currently in fitness, as a personal trainer, group exercise manager, something like that? All right. So then you probably know this. Like, one of the number one reasons why people don't participate in fitness or don't have a regular program is they say, I don't have enough time, right? Time is a big issue. And yes, it's an excuse, right? But we have to acknowledge, we can't just like put it all on them. If we're the professionals, we can't just put it all on them and say, well, that's their deal. We have to figure out how to manage that constraint and work around it, right? So if they're concerned about how is this going to save me time, we have to find a solution for that. The next question that people are asking is, can this serve, lost my, can everybody else still hear me? It looks like Trish, I think it's just you, my dear. No. Let me just send Trish a message. Check your speakers. It's still playing elsewhere. Okay, see if that helps. Meanwhile, I'll use sign language. The other thing the next question that people are asking is, will this product or service bring me the best value? The best value, not necessarily the best price, although again, using this online format, you can price it very competitively, but we're talking about what is the best value. Does this deliver a service I can't get elsewhere? Or can I find a real expert that I'm looking for? And, I live in a town where there's not a whole lot of experts or, a high level quality of stuff. So is this the best value? Or is it maybe just a question of, I want to work out with a certain kind of person, somebody that matches my personality, my lifestyle, whatever, that meshes with me, and I haven't quite found them yet because nobody lives in Boise, Idaho, except for Mike Cannon, right? And so, does this deliver the best value? And finally, another question they're asking is this product or service relevant to me? In other words, does it fit in with the rest of my lifestyle? Does it fit in with the rest of how I work, how I do, business and commerce? And if a great deal of how business and commerce is being done is on mobile devices, on the internet, and you are stuck only in a brick and mortar, environment, or only, in your personal training space, maybe it's a park or rec center, something like that, then you are increasingly less relevant, less compatible with the rest of people's lives. Does that make sense? Do you understand how that works? Right? People want congruency. People want is like, yeah, everything's like you're driving along, everything's working together. Got my, my food I can order online. I can order books and tapes online. I can go, book a movie online. Then I want to go fitness. Oh man, got to go over here. But it's not congruent. That's just is real disruptive. All right. So the old business models, like I say, brick and mortar stuff is not satisfying these needs, right? Just think about some of these other examples that, just as a short proof of what I'm talking about. I think one of the first ones that just sort of disrupted a major industries that used to be like rock solid, invulnerable. iTunes and Spotify completely dismantled the old style music industry. Right? What else? Airbnb. I don't know if any of you have ever tried Airbnb. It's an app that is disrupting the whole travel and hospitality industry. So you can actually go, we've been using it several times when we go traveling. Anybody else used Airbnb before? Maybe some of you. Yeah, Bill has used it. I can get these amazing apartments or separate rooms in someone's house in a beautiful city for about a third or 2/3 of the cost of a 5-star hotel, with better services, better locations, and I can book it myself like that. Right? Hulu and Netflix. Like, how many of you watch commercials on TV? Yeah, nobody. Right? How many of you are getting your TV, your series or whatever you watch, on Hulu or Netflix or something like that, or DVR, whatever? Yeah, like 80% of the people in the world, right? So cable TV is finally like surrendered and say, okay, so we've got to actually have apps like Hulu and Netflix to be able to deliver. So that's disruptive. And Uber, anybody here live on a cave right now and don't know what Uber is? So Uber, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be rude, but it's just kind of an amazing story. Uber is an alternative black car taxi service or black car transportation service. Just like, you don't know how hard it is to break into the taxi world, but they have successfully done it all over the world. And now Uber is valued at $50 billion. They've been in business about 3 years now, $50 billion. So old industries are not answering those questions that the modern consumer has, and you got to find new ways of doing it. And fitness, like I said, is not going to be immune to this trend. Okay. So let me just be clear when we're talking about being an online trainer, or an online yoga teacher, or group fitness instructor, that what we're really talking about here is live streaming interactive video like we're doing right now. It's not really what I'm talking, I'm not really talking about recorded classes. So, there's a ton of apps out there right now that you could download that have pre-recorded workouts, and you can go on YouTube, and there's a lot of websites now, of trainers' websites where you can go and you can get recorded classes. I'm not talking about that. For one thing, that kind of content is now so abundant, it's just a commodity. And it's like it's got almost no value. So you're not going to be able to make a living doing that. The other thing is that you are not able to, show your quality on recorded video. I mean, what is the real value of a personal trainer? It's the interaction, right? It's, the relationship that you have with your student, with your client. Right? So we're talking about live streaming, and in this platform, as you can see, offers two-way video and also two-way audio. Let me just hold on one second here. I'm part of the streaming, but it probably paid $9.99 before it taps out in 10 minutes. is that really, does everybody else get a sign that says you have to pay $99? Leo's on it right now. Leo is from Trainerly, and he's trying to figure that out right now. Don't pay $9.99, whatever you do. Don't. That is not the cost for this webinar. This is absolutely free. This is just New York Nay, thank you for giving me that heads up right there. We are working on it right now. Okay, so Trisha's got her audio back. Great. Okay. Where was I? Let me talk about a few things that you need to know about being an online trainer. So first of all, this stuff, the cost of entry, the cost of doing business like this is super, super low. I mean, it's basically zero, right? You can get into this business using online streaming at essentially a zero cost. Now, to give you kind of a comparison, the last brick and mortar studio that we owned, my partner and I put together, the initial outlay for buying the business, for renting and renovating the space, et cetera, was $250,000. And that just kind of got us going, right? You could do it for much less, but this was in a high-end neighborhood and we wanted to attract a certain kind of clientele, right? If you own, and by the way, pardon me guys while I make you seasick again, if you own a smartphone, you have basically all of the studio equipment you need to start your business. If you want to make it a little bit more fancy, like this, and you can kind of see what I've done here, I've laid out some of the stuff that you might want to use in a studio: fitness ball, roller ball, weights. I have my Tai Chi sword in the back there, so you could do martial arts, you know, and while it looks very lovely and large, this is about 100 square feet, right? So you could do an entire thing. And I can also, let me just show you here for a second, pipe in music, right? And I have microphones here and in the back. If you want to really do a big setup, the maximum outlay is less than $500. Right? So the cost of entry is extremely, extremely low. It's also very flexible. Like you could literally do this anywhere. You could do it in your home. You could do it from a studio. Do any of you already own a training studio or work in a gym where you have some access or whatever? All right. So if you do, there are plenty of people who are doing this simultaneously. Like they've got their classes in their studio, but they also have clients who couldn't make it in that day, or who don't make it in because they live far away, and you could stream the class at the same time. Extreme flexibility. I've got a very full schedule of classes, but I also travel a lot. So instead of canceling classes now, I do it on the road. I can do it from my hotel room. I can slip outside to the park next door. I never have to worry about, or, you know, if I had this when I had my school in Hawaii, dude, I'd just be on the beach doing my classes from there every day. Right? So it's extreme flexibility. Set your own hours. You are no longer limited to what might be considered to be regular business hours in your neighborhood, in your town, right? Maybe you want to do an exclusive clientele that lives in another country, right? Maybe you've moved from a certain location. You have a bunch of clients back in your old location, and you want to do it on their time. You get up in the middle of the night, do all your classes, go back to bed, get up the next day and have an entirely different life. So extreme flexibility is what you get out of this platform. The size of your client base is virtually unlimited, right? You can scale this to as many people as you want. Now, we've got, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, we're a little bit more than 20 people online right now watching us. But my screen can handle 50 people. I could actually, maybe Leo, maybe more than this. We can go almost to an unlimited number of people. Theoretically, I could have a class of 1,000 people. I'll tell you more about that in a second. But you could have as many clients as you want, no longer limited to competing against other trainers in your area for clients. Well, we have a new link. All right. Let me just say this. It's possible that Zoom is going to end our session here in a few minutes. A new link has just been sent to you. I'm going to request that you just jump back on the new link. What's that? It's on the chat. All right, so it's on the chat. You can cut and paste that. So go to the bottom of the screen where it says chat. Click on that. Your chat room window will pop up. Copy and paste that into your browser, and do that now. Copy it now, and if the meeting stops here in a minute, I'll see you all there in a second. Or now, because it looks like everybody's jumping up. So let's all do that right now, just so I can manage this transition. I'm just going to say, let's all log off. Copy this link. Do you all see it?
No.
No. So you go down to the bottom of your screen where it says chat.
But I'm on a smartphone.
You're on a smartphone. So you might have to simply swipe to another screen, touch the screen itself, and chat should pop up.
Wait.
When you touch the screen on your smartphone,
I'm typing, but showing me like pictures of everybody who's on here.
Is that all it goes? Let me see. What's your